So this is my Halloween hand grabber candy bowl project. It uses a capacitive sensor to detect when someone's put their hand in the book to try to grab candy, and when they do, it closes shut on them. It's got these neat teeth. Those are felt, and I cut a hole in the book to hold the candy. When the servo pulls back on the ribbon, the book closes shut on the hand. And it's got these great googly eyes. But warning, this project's not for the faint of heart. If you're not careful, you might get spooked. What I'm working on here is like you know those Halloween candy bowls that you put your hand in and they grab you? Well, I kind of wanted to make something like that for the library using a servo and another thing. Oh, here it is. Using this pen, and then you would try to get something out of the candy bowl, and the hand would go whoosh, and grab you like that. Whoosh. But that was just one of my first ideas. My mom actually had another idea to use a book that would snap shut on your hand, and I'm going to kind of roll with that. So I've drawn it out here a bit. It's got felt teeth. This is just the book. It's got a cutout in here with space for candy, and then it'll lean back on like ribbon or something, string, and then the servo will pull the string forward and cause the book to, wow, broke my lid there, cause the book to close, and then kind of fall shut on whoever's hand is in there. So what I've got in front of me right now is the book that I'm going to use as the candy bowl. To make it more like a candy bowl, I decided to make the edges rigid. So what I've done here is I've glued or put Elmer's glue on this edge and the bottom edge, and then I put freezer paper in between it so that it wouldn't stick together. And then I've got gutting the book, and as you can see, there's a big space in the middle where the candy's gonna go. So what I did for this, I think I showed you guys the glue already, but to cut these pages out, I used this box cutter, and I just went around like that and peeled out the pages a couple at a time. And when I finished, I had these big corners in the edges, so I use this X-Acto knife to kind of get more of that out. I think I'm gonna go over it with glue again because I messed up here during my first cut, and I cut into a little bit more of the paper than I had intended. So I've got the book in front of me here, and I've got the capacitive sensor hooked up. Now, a capacitive sensor is a sensor that can detect the human hand inches away from it. And it does this by sending a signal from one pin to the other of a low value, and it gets the low value vis-a-vis the resistors. I using that word right? Probably. Gonna go ahead anyways. And then it waits for the voltage to change. And the voltage changes at different speeds depending on an object that's touching or connected with it resistively. And it changes slower if the object is larger. And that is because of something called capacitance, which is an object's ability to store and release electrical charges. And the human body has a minute amount of that, which the sensor is able to detect. There is a tin foil thing, it's like a square, you know? Tin foil square hooked up to this wire underneath the book. And that allows the sensor to reach underneath the book, so we don't have to put the resistors under there. Let's see if I can demonstrate it right now. I just have a debugging window set up because my main problem with the book is it goes off for no reason. See, it just went off. Why is it doing that? I'm going to start it over again. And then other times, like now it's working fine. Put my hand in there, it detects it, active. Now it's active. It's active again. So I have a couple solutions. One is this works better without the foil. So I might try messing with the foil. Like I could make the foil larger, or because the foil's under the felt right now. It's hidden under this felt. Oh, you can't see that. Ow. Yeah, it's hidden under this felt. So maybe the felt's messing with it. Having more foil might help. I've been experimenting with this wire placement. See, this is the wire connected to the book, and depending on where I put it, I'm getting different values. So maybe one of those makes it easier for the book to detect things, and one makes it just a little bit more difficult, so it's not so fluttery all the time. Oh, it's picking up my hand now. I also thought these M&Ms might have capacitance, so maybe it's picking up these for some strange reason. So I might try using like a hard candy, or I don't know. There's probably not like an index on the internet or something of like candies that have capacitance. But I do have it working, this servo, and it does pull the book down just... Okay, so this is the final version of the Candy Grabber book. I didn't quite work that error out, but I did find a nice medium by messing around with this wire to a point where it's sensitive, but not incredibly sensitive. I fiddled around with different types of candies, as you can see. Right now I just have the hard candies in there because it's easier to see all of what's going on. I tried to use a wire connected to... Technically it is supposed to work like that because I just put my hand over the sensor panel. So I tried to use a wire connected to the reset pin to make the Arduino reset itself once the Candy Grabber is shut. That didn't work. Not quite sure why. If anybody knows, leave a comment or something. And I'm going to bring this to the library, hopefully Monday. And I've already written up a document kind of explaining how it works, how capacitive sensing works. That way people will see it and they don't think, oh, cool thing, and then just leave. I kind of want them to learn something, you know. So we'll demonstrate this actually working on purpose right now. Hand in. Oh, I got out that time, but that's just because I have super awesome reflexes or something. Oh, okay, I made it go off again there. But as you can see, it's going off on purpose now for all the right times. And then those rare occasions when it does get a sensor bug, you can just hit this reset button here and ba-bam, it'll reset itself. So, oop. Cat-like reflexes, there you go.